Hello everyone and welcome to the Maryville University Hockey Center, the site of tonight's exciting women's hockey matchup between the Maryville Saints and the McKendree Bearcats. I'm Todd Panula alongside Will Starwalt. Will, we've got a bit of a rivalry game here. It's only the second time between these two teams, but as a program, these two teams don't necessarily like each other that much.
And that's always big going into a game, even if it's one of those games where, you've been struggling throughout the season. Rivalry games always have a different feel to them, no matter the record, no matter what's happened before this.
Well, these two teams will be trying to shake off the rust because they've played each other in their last game, but that was way back on February 17th, a game in which the Bearcats won by a final score of 8-4. So Maryville looking for a little bit of retribution here tonight. Let's go over your starting lineups for tonight's game. For the Maryville Saints, back in goal, it's going to be Sawyer Duncan. Up on the defensive line, it's going to be Maggie Brawley. And on her side, it's going to be Emma Gerwitz. On the forward line, it's going to be Sydney Poisson, who is the leading goal scorer for the Maryville Saints. Maddie Johnson will be in the center. And over on the other wing will be Megan Flock. Some keys for tonight's game for Maryville. They need to get to the dirty areas of the ice just a little bit because that's been something that they've lacked so far this season. They've relied on a lot of outside shots. They need to get some secondary scoring. They're relying a little bit too much on their top players right now. And they need to get some good goaltending from Sawyer Duncan.
Yeah, they need to get it all starts from the back, and I've said this on the men's side before. It all starts with the defense, and the leader of the defense is the goalie. That's where it's going to start from, and that's how that transfers momentum to the other end of the ice.
So we'll see whether or not Maryville can build from the back and get some goals as well. We'll have the puck drop for you in just a little bit. This is the Maryville Saints Hockey Network.
College hockey. It's more than just what school you play for. More than just another sweater you pull on. It's about focus, determination, strategy, and poise. It's more than just packed rinks and screaming fans. It's about heart, skill, and passion. In nearly 30 years of the ACHA, we don't just play the game of hockey. We are the game of hockey. Hundreds of elite players and coaches from some of the United States and Canada's most prestigious programs. The American Collegiate Hockey Association. More than just a game.
The Maryville Saints Hockey Network welcomes you to the following presentation of the American Collegiate Hockey Association.
Just about set to drop the puck between the McKendree Bearcats and your Maryville Saints. It's been a while since we've covered the Ladies Saints. As we mentioned during the pregame, they haven't been able to get out on the ice since February 17th, so looking to shake off a little bit of rust here against their rival from across the border in the McKendree Bearcats. We're underway in the first period, and the Bearcats have it in the offensive zone. Possession almost taken away.
Good job by McKendree there to keep it in the zone and get a pass to the slot. Able to get a quick, easy shot, and that's what McKendree's going to want to see here.
Offensive zone face-off. That's why you don't drink an energy drink right before you go on air, ladies and gentlemen. McKendree with the puck over on the far side wall, trickles in behind the net. Saints will catch up to it here on the near side. A floating puck over on the far side. Bearcats will get to it in their own zone as the Saints try to get in on the forecheck.
Saints now putting a lot of pressure on, which is something they need to do probably to get some momentum going early, get a lot of traffic towards the net.
Hurwitz managed to get the puck away, but still trapped inside the neutral zone. Bearcats with it down in their own end. Up through neutral ice and skating onto the attacking end is Davis. She gets a pass over to the right wing. Shot in from the circle and an early save from Duncan.
No real flow to this game yet. Both teams still kind of feeling each other out, probably getting a little bit of that rust off like you said.
Both these teams evenly matched. Maryville still seeking out their first win of the season, coming into tonight 0-7. McKendree is 1-4, but as we mentioned, that one victory came against this Maryville team. A wraparound attempt and a right pad save. They'll try the other side. Nobody home on the pass. Saints take it on the circle. Tried to play it off the Dashers. That hit something over on the far side. Bearcats with it as they cross center ice. Right up the gut now to the near side. On the puck is Scully. She drops one back. Leone with a shot. That initial chance was blocked. Now onto the stick of Pafalt. Over to the far side corner. Smothers pushed up against the boards. Gerwitz managed to steal that away, and that hit a player over on the bench whose stick was hanging over, so we'll have a face-off inside the zone.
McKendree right now doing a great job of keeping that puck in the offensive zone. If Maryville tries to clear it out, they are able to keep it in just by the skin of their teeth on that blue line.
Right now, Maryville struggling to get out to their own zone. It shot off the face-off, was turned away by Duncan. She saw it a little bit late, so needed to be sharp on her toes. Smothers on the backhand, sends it back to the point. Bouncing puck, knocked down, back to the half wall. Bearcats get it in the corner, out to the circle. It was off the skate of Pafalt and ultimately covered up, although the whistle came rather quickly.
And that just kind of goes with McKendree's they may not be great shots, but they're putting them on net, and sometimes that's all you need to just get a lucky bounce going your way, and that puck finds its way back there. And Maryville needs to find a way to get control off this face-off and start going in the other direction.
Coach Tommy Lang changing up his lines, trying to keep his troops fresh. Maryville only with 3 forward lines, 2 defensive lines, and we're going to get a tripping call coming up. 17:41 left to go in the period, and Maryville will head on to the power play.
And this is the perfect chance for Maryville to get pressure in the offensive zone, win this face-off, set up a nice, good power play, put some pressure on the McKendree goaltender here.
Goals have been hard to come by this season for the Saints, only 11 so far in their 7 games. They'd really like to get something going here. They swat at the puck and knock it over to the far boards, but ultimately the Bearcats clear it down. Duncan will leave it behind her own net and plays it over on the far side Dashers. Rolling puck and skating onto it is O'Leary. She hits the ice after she was stumbled up, and now it's a giveaway. Duncan makes the save and then has to cover it up as a shorthanded chance on goal was ultimately denied.
That is not what you need on the power play, is giving the puck away right in the slot there. Great save by Duncan. Able to, I don't know how, if she saw it at all, but she was able to get in the way of it.
Good positioning nevertheless, as another one trickles in on goal. And Duncan, despite the fact that her team is up by a man, is seeing a lot of action. 1:33 left to go on the McKendree penalty. Johnson wins the draw, and then it's awkwardly played back by O'Leary. That'll set up Gerwitz, but she's got the entire rink in front of her. Gerwitz a defender, but still has 3 goals to her name. Slides one up the wing to O'Leary. She brings it in, charges in behind the net, and looks for some open space. Has a player back towards the point. The pass from Poisson finds a player in the corner and is in possession. Stick was lifted, possession given up. Puck out towards the blue line, but nicely held in by Aaron. In behind the McKendree goal, O'Leary manages to block the clearance. Aaron back at the point. A shot was blocked. Now on the stick of Stelzer. She sent one in towards the corner. I don't think that was the intention from the beginning. Now Aaron throws it towards goal, sticked in behind the end line. Bearcats get it, play it off the near side dashers, but not out. Aaron with it at the blue line, but again, the puck just rolling a little bit too much for Maryville to get some clean handles on it.
Maryville's just probably getting a little bit of that rust off, haven't been on the ice in a while, and just kind of looking to get that confidence back when you have the puck.
Soft pass up the near side board. Stelzer was kind of turned around. McKendree sends it deeper into the zone. 10 seconds left, so unless they get a quick charge up ice, that'll pretty much kill off the remaining time on this power play. 15:45 to go in the first period. Stelzer with it, and possession given away inside the McKendree zone. Back to 5-on-5 as Davis stepped out of the box. O'Leary puts it out towards center, onto the stick of O'Brien. Possession given up. McKendree goes out the other way. Skating in with a little bit of speed is Atchison. She manages to knife her way through 2 defenders, got a shot off, but she was in a little too close to get any kind of wood underneath it, and another save by Duncan.
Yeah, they made a nice move there to get into the slot, just a little too close to the goaltender on that one.
Slap shot from the far side, hit something in front, popped up in the air. Duncan manages to make the save, and it wasn't necessarily the most difficult of saves, but sometimes you see those goaltenders go down in the butterfly early. She manages to stay on her feet. Davis left it off. Koch managed to get the puck towards net. It was knocked down on the way through, though. A bouncer in towards the hash marks is knocked away. Davis comes over through the near side. Scully watches it sail past her. Maryville gets it out to center. And again, a bouncing puck, difficult to deal with. Greenfield got it over towards O'Brien, but she was tied up by the defender. McKendree skating past everybody is a good move up ice by Scully. She brings it into the near circle, past another defender, and then just a little jab poke from Brawley. Manages to knock it loose. Bearcats still in possession inside the offensive zone. Davey puts it in towards the corner. Maryville took a little swipe at it as Aaron knocked it loose. But again, the Bearcats hold the zone. From a tight angle, played across the crease, but not on goal. 14:10 left to go here. Maryville will clear, trying to spring the counter. And barely offside, an icing call as Poisson was trying to cut in past the defender, but the linesman said that she didn't quite have the angle.
Yeah, and it seems like both teams here can't quite get a handle on some communication, because we've seen a lot of running into your own teammate in the offensive zone here.
Passes just a little too far off, some of them behind and in the skates. Another offensive zone face-off for the Bearcats. They'll send it back towards the blue line, spun in towards the slot, not under control. Johnson will try to skate it out, got a little bit of a seam. Tried to play it through the legs of Leone, but she got a skate to that, and the Bearcats will change their lines as they get it in the zone. Held in along the boards by Burbage. A A little bit of a battle here on the near side. Gerwitz comes away with possession. Hard off the far dashers, and this one will bounce all the way down the ice. Nobody touched it, so it'll be another icing call against the Saints.
And Maryville right now is just trying to get some type of thing going down the other end of the ice. It doesn't matter if it's an icing at this point. They're just trying to get a breather here, and what they really need to do is focus on winning this face-off and getting possession so they can get a line change.
Bearcats win the draw, but Poisson manages to knife that one away. Comes in on the attack, bumped from behind and then taken down, and that's going to lead to another Maryville power play.
Good job there to be able to draw that penalty. She just had the speed and took an angle and forced McKendree to take that.
So second power play of the game to the Saints. 0 for 1 so far. See if they can at least get some shots on goal. Quickly in on goal. Unfortunately, nobody there for the rebound. Oderman was the closest lady. Just a step off. Now the puck tied up against the end boards as Wasserman was out-muscled. Stelzer tries to dig in, manages to scoop that loose. Takes it off the dashers. Pass was a little too slow to her end, but it comes off the boards and on for Flock. From the circle, she'll try a wrister, and that was an easy save.
Nice job there. McKendree put a very high-pressure penalty kill. You don't see that very often where they chase the puck after they ice it, or just dump it down the ice. But they held it there, and they took about 30 seconds off this power play already.
So McKendree coming out with a little bit more energy than the Saints have had thus far. Poisson has it in neutral ice. O'Leary took a spill, and then possession was given up. Suzuki tossed it over to the far side. It ended up out of play, so we'll have a face-off at center ice. 1:15 left in the Maryville power play that has looked a little bit disjointed thus far.
Maryville just needs to get another good minute of offensive possession here, and that would be a win for this power play.
The stick of Gerwitz was tied up on the face-off, but Maryville comes in on the backhand. Poisson carries it on around to the far circle, looking for Gerwitz at the point, but hits the brakes instead. Pass over to the far side, Hatfords. O'Leary now tosses it behind the net. Carried in by O'Brien. She looks for an open seam. Behind the net, Johnson looks to set it up. Defenders pressuring just a little bit from the side of the net. Put out in front, they try to jam it in. Puck loose out to the top of the crease. Leone trying to find a loose puck, and she's able to clear the zone. Gerwitz quickly trying to jam it back in. That was off a defensive stick and out of play. So they should have the face-off just outside the line. 31 seconds left in the man advantage. Bearcats win the draw, send it down the ice. Now once again, it looks like Maryville is going to go with another power play by the wayside. They do come in with a little bit of time left. Streaking in, nobody open for the pass, wraparound attempt, forced out wide, shot in and a blocker save. Rebound chance is blocked over the goal. Flock with the chance. Flock trying to jam it in. Rebound chance again, and it's denied. Another quick whistle by the referee. That puck was loose, but he lost sight of it. So we'll have an offensive zone face-off for Maryville with 2 seconds left on the power play.
And that was a great job by Maryville in those last 30 seconds to get some pucks on net, and they had a lot of good opportunities if one of those bounces would have gone their way.
Talked about it in the pregame, need to get to the dirty areas, and they showed why there, almost coming up with a goal. Face-off won by Maryville, but it came over to the near boards, and nobody was there. They had 2 of their forwards along the hash marks. So that'll kill off this second penalty, and now Maryville is going to be shorthanded. Going into the box, it looks like, is going to be Maggie Brawley.
I almost said good body check there for a minute until I forgot the key rule. Can't do that.
Well, sometimes fans will get a little bit frustrated with that because, like you say, Will, it was clean hit, but just not allowed at this level of hockey. Davey holds it in along the line, tosses it far side. Koch looks for an open lane. Back to Davey. Good passing here by the Bearcats as they work it around the perimeter. Long shot in, blockered away by Duncan. Bearcats control the rebound, toss it to the far side. Maryville pushes it up the zone, but not quite out. Back to the point now for the Bearcats. Good pressure coming from O'Leary as she's able to kick at it, but still not over that blue line. Held in a third time by the Bearcats. It comes over here to the near side. Gerwitz had the puck kind of jump on her, but she does clear.
Nice job there by Gerwitz to make sure the puck got over the line that time. No holding it in with your skate on that one.
McKendree will bring it up the near side. Gerwitz manages to get a stick in the lane to knock that loose, and the Saints will send it the entire length of the rink. Fault to the far corner. Burbage looks up ice. Scully will cross the line on the attack. She's got Davis here, was calling for it, but the rink-wide pass not available. Fault skates all the way to the circle. Ritzter! Duncan saw it all the way and was able to control the rebound as well.
Both teams on the penalty kill now, I've seen, they always send one person to the other end of the ice just to put a little bit of pressure. And you don't see that too often. Both teams playing a very high-pressure penalty kill, leaving one person out with a chance of a break.
Draw comes on the near side. Bearcats win it to the near side point. Fault walks the line straight away now. Off the near side dashers. Davis able to avoid the stick check. Pass back towards the blue line, held in by Burbage. She wasn't too sure of herself, so managed to get the puck away. Burbage down towards the corner. Davis. No shots available. Almost stolen by O'Leary, but it was kept away. Skating on towards the near side now. Atchison tied up. As they dig in for the scrum along the near side boards, Fault skates up towards the high slot. One-time shot, and it goes wide. 4 seconds left, and then we'll be back to even strength. 9 minutes left to go. Atchison back to the point. Fault takes the pass. Intercepted on the way through. Oderman had a player up ice. Didn't see her quickly enough, and now possession given away. Counterattack opportunity for McKendree. Scully brings it into the corner, passes it off the wall to herself. Hurwitz lifts her stick. Atchison has it jabbed away. The captain up the ice as Johnson was looking for Poisson. Poisson wins the battle to the circle. A bad angle chance, and that didn't miss by much. Either the goaltender made a save or it went off the side of the cage. Leone goes to the center of the rink. This is onside. Smothers drops it. Skating into the circle. Suzuki managed to get it through towards net, but ultimately wide. A springboard pass out towards center was knocked away. O'Brien on the forecheck. Tic-tac-toe, the Bearcats go the other way. Suzuki from the circle. Her shot is blocked. Back to Leone. She hits a rut in the ice and blows a tire. Back towards the half wall. Maryville has it. O'Leary up towards center, and then it slips away. Smothers for the Bearcats. Filtered through and then sent into the zone by Burbage. Dump and chase right now for McKendree with 7.5 left to go. Aaron trying to catch up to it for Maryville, but she didn't know that puck was coming. A shoulder into the chest of Davis, but not enough of a check to be thrown as a penalty. Maryville backhands it up towards the blue line, tapped out by O'Leary, but the Bearcats go right back the other way. Delayed offside allows Maryville to get control. Off the dashers, Atchison chops at it, knocks it in behind the cage. Gerwitz picks up the loose change. Looks for an avenue out of the zone, still unable to find one. Burbage pops one towards goal. And Duncan didn't see anything she liked, despite the fact that the Bearcats were trying to change their line, so she smothers it.
Yeah, Maryville just needs to find a way to get it out of their own zone in this first period and need to get some momentum going in the other direction. But Duncan has been playing great in there between the pipes, making all the saves that have come her way so far.
That second power play got a little bit of offense going for the Saints. They're now out shooting McKendree 6-5. But the Bearcats have had much more of the offensive zone time. Poisson doesn't realize she's got pressure coming. Finally, somebody told her, so she played it off the near side boards. Davy tried to toss it out towards center. Leone flings one in. Gerwitz will chase it down for the Saints. Picks it up in behind the goal. And again, just a little bit awkward in possession are the Saints right now. Bearcats come right back in. There was a shooting lane available, and interestingly enough, the defender, Koch, decided to play it back. Atchison tied up with Iran. That's popped loose, and a slap shot comes all the way through, bounces about a foot outside the crease and ultimately wide. Another chance. Puck loose as it goes into the corner. Stelzer tosses one off the boards as there's a battle going on in front of the net. Poisson just kind of pokes it over towards the near side, flings it off the far side boards. Bearcats hold it in initially, and then finally Poisson's able to send it out. Line change rolling here for Maryville. Almost an interception that would have set up a breakaway opportunity, but it just nibbled off the toe of the stick. Now here comes Scully, manages to get around her end. The puck loose, nobody knew that it was just a couple feet away from the goal. And now here comes a 2-on-1 for Maryville. In comes Poisson, she takes the shot and a big time block there. Leone looks a little bit shaken up as the Saints trying to scrape that off the wall. Finally the referee had seen enough as it was covered up, but they'll have a face-off inside the zone.
I think that's an opportunity Maryville would like to have back. It was a 2-on-1, good opportunity. Goalie made a great save.
And an interesting decision by the defender to block the shot as well. A lot of times you'll see them go down to block the pass, but perhaps she knew that Poisson had eyes on the goal the entire way. Comes over to Flock here in the near side corner. She tries to reverse it. That was seen by the defender and knocked down. Leone has it on the near circle as she skates out of her defensive end. A collision here on the near side boards as Gerwitz separates player from puck. And then Brawley tossed it over to the far side. Again, Maryville cannot clear their own zone. Smothers from corner to corner as the puck is loose. Maryville trying to get it off the dashers. Right now it's out on the perimeter. O'Leary was knocked off possession. Johnson tried to get it out towards center, is able to do so. But then ultimately Greenfield was bumped off the puck. Pafalt skates in behind her own goal. Blindly flings one out of the zone. Gerwitz now in possession at center ice. Brought into the zone by O'Leary. Wrist shot in off the skate of the defender. Goes off the post. Back out towards the point. Flung in by Wasserman. And once again it was knocked down by the wrong colored jersey. O'Leary looking to go the other way. Possession cheaply given up right at the blue line. Scully with a shot. That's knocked down. That could spring a counterattack the other way if they get it. Up the far wing comes O'Brien. She skates into the circle. Tosses one towards goal. A stick save made. She catches up to her own rebound. Drops one into the corner for O'Leary. Bearcats managed to wrangle possession away. Filtered through over to the near side. Gerwitz tried to step up. Poke check just barely avoided. Leone brings it in on the attack for the Bearcats. 3:09 left to go here in the first period. Poke check, and here comes Poisson. She'll send it in. Wrapped around the board. Skated onto by Oderman. Bearcats once again steal it away. Got caught up in some snow along the dashers. McKendree finds a little bit of space here in the neutral zone. Smothers on her off wing. Shot blocked by Brawley. Back out in front. Tapped out by Brawley as she gets it out towards center. Stelzer was trying to skate in. Maryville can't bring it in as Oderman would have been offside. Now 3-on-2 from the circle, shot in, score! Scully from the dot manages to beat Duncan over the glove hand, and the first goal of the game goes to the Bearcats.
Yeah, McKendree did a great job there. They were able to get control of it and just put a nice, easy 3-on-2 there and just made the right decision. They didn't try and get too fancy and make a lot of passes. They just made a nice, hard shot and was able to beat Duncan.
So Scully with the goal at 17:36 to put McKendree up by 1. Shots are 9-8 in favor of Maryville, but it really doesn't feel like that, as the Bearcats have had the puck possession in the zone, and now they lead by a goal for their efforts as well. Another bouncer in towards the crease. And you try to give the officials the benefit of the doubt, but we've seen some early whistles with the puck still loose. That one, Duncan had it covered up, and it seemed like the whistle came a little late.
I think in the second period they might be able to find the medium there.
2:12 left to go here in the opening 20 minutes. Trying to spring Poisson on a breakaway, and now she's got some open ice from the right circle into the slot. Backhand chance and a stick save. Saints hold the zone, carried into the corner, put out in front. Poisson with a backhander, and that ends up off the side of the goal after a defender got a stick onto it. Poisson drops it back to Brawley. She takes a slap shot. That was knocked down. Good glove save by Scully, even though she's a forward. Now Scully with another chance. Into the slot. Shot blocked, and it'll go out of play over the goal.
That's another opportunity that Maryville would like to have back on that one. Breakaway. Tried to go 5-hole, I believe, switching it back to the backhand and just not quite able to get the goalie sliding enough to fit it through.
I liked the idea, just didn't quite have the execution. 95 seconds left to go here in the first period. Brought out by O'Leary. She tried to scoop it up off the wall, but once again, the McKendree defenders seem to be wise to some of these tricks. A bouncing puck over here towards the near boards. Koch trying to outrace O'Leary. Up towards center ice as the Bearcats bring it into the zone, but not under possession. Aaron tosses it to the near boards, and once again, O'Leary looks to head up ice. Davies lost her twig, and now she'll just head over towards the bench instead of picking it up off the near side boards. Wasserman trying to find it. Smothers is able to steal it. Skates around the defender, and then ultimately possession was given up as it slipped away. Koch looking for Smothers in the slot. Defender was right there. Wasserman got a stick to it. Davis in behind the goal. Pushed off by Aaron. Davis from the half wall. Johnson scoops it out. 31 seconds remaining. Up towards center. A lot of open ice in front for Davis as she skates in. Good recovery by Gerwitz, although she hits the ice. Stelzer throws a check. A little bit hard done there, as it was kind of just collision by position. But nevertheless, when you see the player go down, the referee not given too much in the way of a choice.
Yeah, and this is just one of those. McKendree had a lot of pressure, and that's one of those penalties. It's not necessarily a bad penalty, just bad timing. You see the efforts there, just a little late on getting to the puck.
Just needed to pump the brakes a step or two before. So Stelzer's into the sin bin. 17.1 seconds left in the first period. McKendree already up by 1, looking to double that up. Johnson wins the faceoff. Gerwitz tried to slide it up the boards. Didn't have enough mustard on it to get it out of the zone, which has been a phrase that we've repeated several times. Blocker saved from the bad angle chance. Pafalt tosses it in behind the net. 1 second left, and that'll do it for the opening 20 minutes of play. Pretty even overall, but ultimately the Bearcats find themselves up by a goal. So as the teams head off to the locker room, we'll take a quick break here. When we come back, we'll discuss that first period and maybe a little bit of what Maryville can try to do to get back into this one. Don't go too far. It's 1-0 McKendree after 1. You're watching Maryville Saints hockey.
I've always wanted to go back to school, but getting a degree feels complicated now. I don't know if I can fit it into my life like I did before. And I think about all the new jobs out there, and everything's moving so fast. I need a degree to help me further my career, but one that is worth my time and money. And I'm ready for the next step and to make sacrifices. But I want a university that believes in me the way that I do.
Here at Maryville University, we stand for those who are brave. We've been bravely revolutionizing higher education for those striving to achieve for nearly 150 years. We're developing degree programs in partnership with the businesses that will employ the leaders of tomorrow. Now, we're bringing this high-quality education online, so you can study anywhere at any time. The future belongs to the brave. Let's be brave together. Learn more now at maryville.edu/online.
All the work, because the road to the next level never ends. All the work, all the sweat. All the work, all the sweat, all the pain. All the work, all the sweat, all the pain. Block it out. All the work, all the sweat, all the pain, I'm trained. All the work, all the sweat, all the pain, I'm trained, I'm dead. All the work, all the sweat, all the pain, I'm trained, I'm dead. I'll last. All the work, because the road to the next level never ends.
Wherever you live, from Bridgeton to Baldwin, Brentwood to Kirkwood, St. Anne to St. Charles, wherever you live. Hazelwood to Maplewood, the name you know. Frederick Roofing, wherever you go. For a hole in your roof or a whole new roof. Frederick Roofing.
St. Louis, 314-645-2000.
There are very few companies that offer the opportunities that you'll find at Arco Construction.
I guess some companies, their mentality is it's this way, you know, or no other way. And Arco really is just like, hey, it's about having a great atmosphere, a fun environment, work hard, play hard.
We truly do bleed Arco blue. It is a family here. We are culture. You know, which sounds kind of weird, but at the end of the day, you know, everybody always asks me what is unique about Arco, and I just think that our culture is one that can't be rivaled by any other company or any other opportunity.
If somebody really wants to do something special with their lives and their career, I think this is the best company to be able to do that.
We're about serving others. We're about culture. We're about stretching you. We're about stretching ourselves. We're about making a difference.
I think I'd have to say we are tireless.
We are experts in what we do. We are definitely not lazy.
We are the game changer. Construction is moving more and more into the design-build realm. Arco is the true design builder out there in a world of a lot of construction companies who like to throw the term around very loosely. We really are it.
We win projects, we have fun, we create opportunities for individuals' financial success. So we like to win, and we're very successful.
We're the best place you're ever going to work. Clear, bar none. That's the way it is. We're going to set the standard. Arco is going to set a standard. And if you come to work here, then basically you're going to understand what the standard, what that bar is, and you're going to adjust everything else by this company. You're going to understand what the other companies are compared to this company.
This is a message for those who once tried to get a degree, but didn't, who face their future and their fears. Here at Maryville University, we've been recognizing brave students like you for nearly 150 years. It's for you that we're developing our degree programs in partnership with the businesses that will employ the leaders of tomorrow. And now, we're bringing it online, because it's hard to get a degree. But if you're brave, you can do anything. Let's be brave together. Learn more now at maryville.edu/online.
Welcome back to the Maryville University Hockey Center. 1-0 in favor of McKendree after 20 minutes of play. Well, Will, it was kind of a slow start for Maryville. They managed to kind of crawl their way back into the game, but they still find themselves down by a goal.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of good chances, the 2-on-1, the breakaway, and then the power play where they were trying to jam it into the net. And they've been getting a lot of good chances, just not able to execute on those chances. And also credit to McKendree. They've had the puck in the offensive zone a good portion of that period, and just there hasn't really been a flow to the game. Maryville would get some pucks in the offensive zone, keep possession for a while, and then McKendree would go on the way back, go into the offensive zone, and not able to get a lot of shots as Maryville's leading in the shots, but they just, a lot of good passing, just not able to get the shooting lanes open and create that open space. And I think the key for Maryville going into the second period is they're just going to have to execute. And they're going to have to execute those chances that they do get, and they're going to have great communication to make those passes crisper getting out of the defensive zone.
It seems like it was kind of a first period of missed chances, as you mentioned. We had the 0 for 2 on the power play and then the Poisson breakaway to where it looked like she had a bit of a lane there if she wanted to cut towards the outside, maybe even back onto the forehand, tried to go 5-hole instead.
Yeah, she had a lot of room on that breakaway, and as a goalie in that situation, you're thinking just be big. Just get as big as possible. Try not to leave any big open holes. And, that's what she did. She was able to close the gap pretty quickly, and that's what happened. But a lot of the times you'll see the goalie try and extend too far, sliding over to cover for the forehand, and there's just a big open hole in the 5-hole.
And not trying to make excuses, but having played since February 17th, you can practice all you want, but until you get out here in a game situation, things are a little bit different.
Yeah, adrenaline's going. It's a rivalry game, and sometimes the, thinking gets ahead of yourself, and you think too much. That was always my problem when I played, was I would try and think too much instead of just playing the game that came to me, and that might have been what happened there. She tried to get a little too fancy with it, and that's what happened.
So we'll take another quick break. Once again, the score after the first 20 minutes of play is 1-0 in favor of McKendree, but plenty of hockey still left to be played. We'll see whether or not the Saints can climb their way back into this one. Don't go too far. You're watching the Maryville Saints Hockey Network.
This is a message for those who once tried to get a degree, but didn't, who face their future and their fears. Here at Maryville University, we've been recognizing brave students like you for nearly 150 years. It's for you that we're developing our degree programs in partnership with the businesses that will employ the leaders of tomorrow. And now, we're bringing it online, because it's hard to get a degree. But if you're brave, you can do anything. Let's be brave together. Learn more now at maryville.edu/online.
Welcome back, Flower. We're very excited to show you what we have here. The new Access line. More powerful rebounds, lightweight construction, all designed in Canada, of course.
Hi, I'm Ethan Mahalicek, and I'm a game design major from St. Louis, Missouri. I decided on game design because it was something new that they were offering at Maryville. It was kind of an addition to the interactive design program, and when they offered it, I hopped right on board. I've always loved video games, and so I figured why not try to make them. The professors have helped me build up to where I'm at the moment in a variety of ways, but one of the most important and influential, I think, has been them pushing me to take projects that I've done and push them to their limits. Here at Maryville, it's required as a design student that you do at least one internship. I kind of went a little bit beyond that and have done 3 at this point, or I'm currently in my 3rd. I'd say my favorite part about the program is that it's still kind of small at the moment, and so that allows for a really close connection with the professors and fellow students in the classroom, and a lot of involved work in the classroom. So there's a lot of collaboration that goes on, a lot of helping each other. If you're interested in game design, and even more so interested in Maryville, why not stop by, take a tour, and see what we're all about.
There's 2 types of drivers out there. Drivers who know how to protect their investment, and drivers who don't. Car owners who know how to get more miles per gallon, and owners who don't. We're talking people who know their Schaefer and people who don't. Which one are you? From cars to trucks to diesel workhorses, whatever you drive, there's a Schaefer synthetic oil for you. Do you know your Schaefer? Ask for it at an automotive retailer near you.
Moneta may be one of the nation's largest independent wealth managers, but what we pride ourselves on most is serving each client like they're part of the family. That's why we go to extraordinary lengths to help our clients reach their unique financial goals. Whether launching a business, providing retirement planning for employees, or building a multi-generational legacy. At Moneta, whatever you cherish, we help protect it today, tomorrow, and into the future.
Welcome back, Flower. We're very excited to show you what we have here. The new Access line, more powerful rebounds, lightweight construction, all designed in Canada, of course.
I'll start with a split squat, and then followed by that will be a series of different kinds of jumps and movements that'll try and get off the ground as quickly as possible.
So before workouts, I roll out for probably 10 minutes max. After I go through my rolling routine, I'll generally go into a dynamic warm-up, and then I'll head to the gym and start my workout.
I pair hurdle hops after a different leg exercise, like a squat or a split squat. So you get the strength part, and then after you do the strength part and you're loaded with weight, you come over here and you're trying to be light on your feet and quick off the ground to, again, increase your explosiveness and speed on the ice.
Back at the Maryville University Hockey Center as we're just moments away from puck drop on the second period between these two rivals, the Maryville Saints and the McKendree Bearcats. McKendree with a 1-0 lead coming out of the break as Cameron Scully scored her third goal of the game at 17:36. It was kind of an interesting period, Will, because we mentioned it during the intermission. Shots are pretty much even. There was a slight edge for Maryville for a while, but you really didn't get the sense that they were generating enough to really score that goal other than that little flurry that they had on their second power play.
Yeah, they had that little flurry there, and they got a couple, they had a 2-on-1 and then a breakaway. Not quite able to execute on either of those. But other than that, it's been a lot of offensive pressure by McKendree, and that's where it may not feel like the shots are even because they've had a lot of offensive ice time, but not a lot of shots to show for it with only 10.
A lot of transition opportunities for Maryville. Not a whole lot of time inside the zone outside of that power play attack. The first one went pretty much without much of a chance on goal. Second one was much better. We'll see whether or not they can capitalize should they get a third one. But right now they have some penalty time to kill off, as Stelzer is in the box for another minute and 43 seconds. So the teams have switched sides. McKendree will be going left to right, Maryville right to left.
And Maryville just really needs to focus on getting as little shots for McKendree on this power play as possible and kill it off quickly.
So a good start as Maryville is able to win the face-off and send it down the ice. Burbage tosses it up towards center. Scully will bring it in on the near wing. Sets it up along the half boards to the circle. A little bit of time as Maryville is backing off. Pafalt tosses it over towards the left and gets the return pass. Scully on the near side into the corner now as they exchange places. Davis left it. Scully skates it on around. She's got the goal here this evening to the near circle as the pass was cut off in the middle, and Maryville will clear it out.
Nice job there not to shoot it down the ice right away. Take a little time by skating that to the neutral zone.
Poisson and her line mates head off on a change. New penalty killers out now for Maryville as that was knocked away by O'Brien on the way through. Gerwitz steps up. O'Brien didn't see the trickling puck. Scully has it knocked away as Gerwitz was standing up right at the line. She calls for a change as she was the last player out on that initial penalty killing unit. Wasserman out on the defense. Bearcats hold the zone. Koch steps along the line. Pafalt has a shooting lane, takes it, and it was a difficult save for Duncan as she didn't see it cleanly. Wrapped around the goal and then reversed to the backside. Maryville saw it on the way through and ultimately cleared down.
A couple of the Maryville defenders there on the front of the puck didn't quite see that. It was almost an easy pass there to the slot.
Puck tied up over on the far side boards. We're back to full strength for both teams. A loose puck now to the circle. Shot in just wide. Rebound chance denied as there was a defender in front of Poisson. She puts one back out in front, wrapped around as a reverse shot from Stelzer was knocked down. Leone trying to get it out of her zone, stepping in nicely from the blue line. Stelzer had her stick lifted, so the puck escapes the zone, and now the other way we go with Smothers on the left wing. She tried a shot but fanned. A second opportunity ends up in behind the goal. Gerwitz, who got a breather, jams it off the near side boards. Koch has it at center ice. Up towards the forward line for Davis. Stelzer stepped in front of that one, got enough of it to disrupt its initial path. But McKendree does a good job to hold the zone. Davis had her pocket picked. Gerwitz looks to head off the other direction, off the far side boards. Kicked that. Stelzer skates up ice. But she was outmanned, as it would have been a 1-on-2 had she been able to carry into the zone. Atchison leaves it. Scully brings it in from the near circle, looking for an avenue, peels back. A good poke check there by Poisson, and then she's tripped up, spun around. A little bit of a figure skating move, although she didn't necessarily intend to do it. Bearcats bring it across the line on the far side. Pafalt had it knocked away. That'll put possession on the stick of Brawley. She tried to send it up the wall. Pafalt takes a slapper, but that was knocked down by Johnson. Puck loose along the near circle. Heading up ice is Poisson. Once again, not too much in the way of help. She still carries all the way. Peels back. Finds a player. Now a chance. A Rand-headed bounce on her. It just wouldn't settle down on the tape. A chance in front. Poisson pokes at it as she tried to shuffleboard it in towards the goal, but Pafalt had her tied up. Leone sweeps one over towards the near wing. Rolling along the near boards. Johnson had it jabbed away. Smothers heads up with Leone on a 2-on-1. Quickly disrupted by the back-checking Greenfield and ultimately blocked by Wasserman.
Great back check there by Maryville to make sure that a 2-on-1 did not happen. But also on that offensive zone, pass beautiful right to the slot. Nobody in front of her, just her and the goaltender. Just quite couldn't handle it. A little too much mustard on that pass.
Been one of the stories of the game thus far for Maryville, as they just haven't been able to connect on that final play, whether it be a shot or a pass. They'll charge up ice this time. It's a 2-on-2. Numbers favor McKendree as they had a couple back checkers at the blue line. Possession disrupted initially for Maryville. Once again, a stick comes loose. That belongs to Scully. She seems to be a little bit shaken up as her left arm is up against her body. She heads off to the bench. Bearcats have it in their own zone. Atchison looks up the Dashers. Didn't find a teammate. Slid it up the boards. And now it's brought in by Davey. Not under control. Swept over towards the near side boards. Koch with a shot. A little bit of a rainbow shot, but ultimately handled by Duncan.
Yeah, Maryville and McKendree still kind of seems like they're feeling each other out here in the second period. Nobody quite able to get possession or get a handle on the puck. And I think the rust is still there a little bit.
Similar start between the second and first periods for Maryville, although credit to them for killing off that almost full power play. Once again, Duncan makes the save. Wasn't necessarily in full control of it. And now a little bit of extracurricular activity after the whistle.
And when you're down and they get close to your goaltender like that, you like to see that from Maryville, protecting their goaltender, not letting them get any pokes at the puck.
Gerwitz having a few words with Janie Smothers. Off the draw, Bearcats get it. Almost a dangerous play out in front as Davey was all alone. Bearcats have it in the high slot, trickles out towards the point. Fault from the near circle, bad angle chance. Duncan was well positioned to make the blocker save. And again, the whistle comes rather quickly, although Duncan was always likely to get on top of it.
I was going to say, I think the referee called that one kind of quick because Duncan jumped on top of it, and you don't want to see any sticks flying in there when the goalie leaves the crease like that.
Especially given Maryville's goaltender situation. They have both goaltenders dressed here tonight, but the reason they had that break from February 17th until now is mainly due to goaltender issues. They had to miss at least one game because they had both goaltenders injured. I believe there was another game that was also canceled due to COVID issues with the opponent, but nevertheless, it ended up working out in Maryville's favor so they could get their goaltenders some healthy time and rest. Puck up the near wall. This one will clear all the necessary lines, and it'll be an icing call as we approach 6 minutes played here in the second period.
And once again, McKendree taking the lead on shots here. They're leading 15-11 on shots, and they're just keeping that pressure. They haven't, given up anything, and they haven't tried to slouch back and say, okay, we've had the offensive possession. They've kept their foot on the gas.
Face-offs have been key thus far in this game as Maryville is able to wrestle control of that one. They didn't win it cleanly, but nevertheless they get it down the ice without forcing an icing call. Holding it in on far side is O'Brien. She gets it back onto the forehand. Shot in and a right pad save made. A juicy rebound comes over here to the near side, but nobody in white was able to take control. Maryville trying to kick at it, jab at it, do anything they can to get it off the boards. Finally it comes off the wall. Scully has it though, and she's wearing a dark-colored jersey. Pafalt avoids the jab check from O'Brien. Puck rolls over towards the near side. Pinned up against the boards again as both sides dig in. Gerwitz trying to scoop it off. Once again, Bearcats get control. Wraparound attempt and a skate save made. Duncan trying to keep her skates up against the post, and she was able to keep that one away. Pafalt kind of did the splits there. Maryville trying to get it past the defender, and now they've got a 3-on-1 if they hurry. Brought in by O'Brien, and then the shot was blocked. Koch went down to the ice, took away the lane. A backhand chance by O'Brien, and it just trickles wide. A great save made, and the puck just would not go in.
And that's the kind of chances we've seen from Maryville. They don't have the offensive possession, but they've getting a lot of 2-on-1 chances.
Dangerous times for Maryville as Wasserman had jumped up into the play. Everybody else managed to get back to help out defensively. Here's Stelzer trying to get in from a bad angle, and again it just trickles through the goaltender, but wide. Held in along the line nicely by Oderman. She tosses one in behind the net. 7.5 played here in the second period. 1-0 McKendree on a first period goal by Scully. A scrum on the near side corner. Stelzer trying to poke it loose. Smothers has her skate right up against the wall. Stelzer once again in a sliding block by Koch, and the shot was blocked on the second opportunity as well. Out the other way we go. Davey brings it in on a 3-on-2. Smothers with a little bit of a screen, and the shot just swept into the near corner. Maryville trying to get it out. They've got numbers pushing up ice as it's back and forth like the pendulum on a clock. Gerwitz with a shot, and that's disrupted on the way through. Flock trying to poke it in. And once again, we get a whistle as the goaltender had her glove down.
I believe they called that one on the net being dislodged, but as it was good timing as she did cover the puck. But it came out kind of quickly, so I thought it was another quick whistle. And the ref is saying can't make a line change, so.
So McKendree was trying to get some fresh players out there as Maryville was trying to get a little bit of pressure going. They've chipped their way back into the shot battle. It's 15-14 there, still in favor of the Bearcats. Off the near side, Dashers, backhanded back towards the corner by Johnson. Flock was tied up. Kerwitz tosses it back. Poisson on it now, but lost control. Smothers. Kerwitz stepped up nicely, but still the puck got around her. Now Smothers with a shooting lane. She was going up her corner on the glove side, but tossed it up a little too high. Scully gets it around O'Leary. O'Leary on the second opportunity is able to disrupt that. Johnson looks to skate up the ice as the captain plays it into the neutral zone and then swept in by Poisson. She was on the wrong side of the red line, though, so we'll have another icing call.
Maryville's doing a good job here, and just like that, the shots are almost even again, 15-14 in favor of McKendree. But it seems like every time they get a good, 4 or 5 shots on goal, they just can't make anything happen when they get those.
Maryville trying to slap it down the ice. It ends up right on the stick of Atchison, but she ended up shooting wide as she was too close to the goal to have any kind of angle. Pass through the middle, onto the stick of Scully. It's a 3-on-2 as Maryville's caught up in a line change. Scully to the backhand, shot and score! Duncan was a little bit too far inside of her own goal, and that ended up costing her as Scully had a lot of net to shoot at and manages to scoop that one up with the backhand chance and make it 2-0 Bearcats.
And that just goes with the communication. That was just bad communication, got caught in a line change, and Duncan doing everything she can, but there's a lot of lanes and a lot of people open.
Not quite midway through the game. Goal comes at 9:30 of the second period. Scully with her second. That gives her 4 on the season. Aaron is kind of caught up along the near boards as she struggled to find the handle. Puck rolls over towards the far side as it glides along the ice. Tossed over here towards the near boards. Picked up by Koch, and she will lift it on in. Wasserman chases it down, but gives it over towards Leone, and it escaped both O'Leary and Leone. Bearcats fling one out in front. That one was knocked loose. Ends up wide of the goal. Pumping the brakes is Wasserman. But again, not quite as firm on these clearances as they need to be. Puck kind of bounces up on Oderman. She's unable to clear. In behind the net, Smothers to the corner, back towards the point. Suzuki takes a long shot. That's knocked down in front. Somebody's lost their glove as well. Stick save made by Duncan. Smothers is right in front looking for a rebound, but a shot never comes from the far side. Swept back towards the corner. Smothers skates onto it. She's guarded by O'Brien. Leaves it off. Picked up by Scully, looking for the hat trick. Score! Not sure who got the last touch on it, but nevertheless, it's now a 3-0 lead for McKendree.
Yeah, that's one of those you just put the puck towards the net and see what happens, and it was able to bounce past Duncan there.
So it will indeed be a hat trick goal for Scully as she manages to poke that one in. And another goal coming just 20 seconds after to make it 3-0.
Yeah, the referee just handed the puck to one of the players, and they tossed it to the bench for her, so that would be her hat trick.
My mistake, 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Math is difficult, apparently.
It's okay, I'm not the greatest in math either.
That's why I went into broadcasting. I didn't realize I'd have to deal with numbers as much as I do. Off the face-off, Burbage plays it off the bench right near the Maryville end. Skated in. Referee's going to allow that despite a pretty heavy collision right in front of the McKendree bench. Gliding up through the neutral zone, Brawley. Once again, possession lost. 8:40 left to go here in the second period. McKendree has found 2 quick goals and find themselves up by a score of 3-0. Bearcats in possession. Atchison pushed towards the glass. Pafalt had it knocked away by Poisson. And now we're going to get a whistle with 8:28 to go.
Yeah, 2 players who collided into the boards. Their helmets got stuck together, and for a minute I thought they were kind of, just jawing a little bit back and forth, a little extracurricular, and no, they just collided and their helmets got stuck together.
It's got to be an interesting feeling. It's like, get away from me. I can't.
I'm trying to get away from you.
Off the draw, they go straightaway point, now near side to Iran, but her shot was blocked. Oderman tried to toss one towards goal. Poissant flings one back out in front, but again, defensive sticks always in the lane for McKendree. Open ice collision. Wasserman was able to keep control of the puck nicely along the blue line. Maryville trying to make something out of this zone time, but they're not in clean possession right now. 12 minutes played here in the second period, and that one slides away. Heading up ice is Smothers, steps around the defender. She's got a player in the center, but the pass was broken up. Maryville scoops one over towards the far side, but again, the puck just kind of rolling over the stick on some of these clearance attempts by the Saints. Knocked down in front, up to Oderman. She's standing still right at her own blue line, so hard to generate some momentum. Now she gets up onto the forecheck, blows a tire as she did get a piece of that puck. And another scrum along the near side boards as McKendree more than happy to just kind of kill off some time on this clock. And now we're going to get a stoppage as the physicality is picking up a little bit. You're not necessarily allowed to throw open ice checks, but once you get up along the boards, referees seems to be more than happy to kind of let a little bit of bumping going on.
And that'll happen when you're flying into the boards. You're not always going to be able to avoid contact.
O'Leary tried to sweep one into the offensive zone, did cross the line, but again, just possession very hard to come by as McKendree starting to put the clamps down on this game with every moment that goes by. Brawley back in her own zone to the near boards. Flung up ice by Greenfield. It did take a deflection, so even if it would have crossed the end line, which it does not, it would not have been an icing call. Bearcats will escape the zone through neutral ice. Here comes Atchison. Gerwitz on the back check. Knocks her off the puck. Referee keeps an eye on it. Put the whistle towards his lips, but decides not to call anything. Now Pafalt back towards the point, in towards the slot, but it explodes off the stick of Atchison, so she has to catch up to it on the far side. Flung out of the zone, and once again it takes a deflection, so again no icing. A line change now on for the Saints. A slap pass up the boards, knocked down by Iran. And back the other way we go with Poissant, trying to get Saints into the game, and her shot was off a defensive skate. Pafalt seems to be charged with guarding Poissant as she's been on her like glue through most of this game. Put out in front on a decent wraparound attempt, but it just slid off the stick of Johnson and didn't hit its intended target. This does cross all 3 lines. So we'll have an icing as Johnson also picks up somebody's mitt.
Yeah, and Maryville now just needs to focus on winning this face-off, getting a good couple minutes here. Try and get one back before you go into the third.
5:45 left to go here in the second. Johnson wins the draw. Poissant with a wrister. Johnson picks up the trickler, and it ends up wide again. Flung blindly out in front. The pass was decent had somebody been there, but it ended up splitting between everyone. Wasserman just flies it up the ice, but not far enough to clear the zone. Leone now from the bad angle. She's going to try a wraparound, and a good defensive play was able to knock that loose. Stoutzer sweeps it up the near boards. Poisson with a player out in front. Poisson takes a shot. Score! Well, Will, you said they needed to get at least one before the break, and now they've got some time on the clock. 5:11 left here in the second, and it's back to a 2-goal game.
Well, I was hoping I didn't give them the broadcaster curse there by saying they needed to get one back quickly. It might have heard me from all the way up here. They were able to get it. They finally executed. Nice 3-on-1, I believe. And that's one of those where as a goalie, you got to think pass, cover the far side of the net, but you always got to focus on the shooter in front of you. And that's what they did, just able to put a nice shot over the left shoulder, or right shoulder, excuse me.
Really well-placed shot by Poisson as she picks up her 5th of the season, makes the score 3-1. Bearcats still in control, but it doesn't feel quite as insurmountable right now. Atchison puts one over towards the far wing. Scully had it knocked loose. Tried to go down for a block on the clearance. Brawley was able to clear the line momentarily. Bearcats send it back the other way, but here's a steal. Is Scully looking for number 4 to Atchison. Wrister, and too many bodies in front. Up the ice. Swept in by Poisson. She's got the lone goal here this evening for Maryville. Bearcats fail to clear it out. O'Brien digs in. Scully with the steal. 4:15 to go here in the second period. Davis up, stepped up by Brawley. Davis is a little bit shaken up. She'll head off to the bench. Now a steal almost as it went off the midsection of Olivia O'Brien, but she couldn't bring it down. Gerwitz will step up from the blue line and chop it back in towards the corner. O'Leary steps in as well, but it ends up behind the net. Brawley keeps it away from Leone. O'Brien is there. Here's Brawley with a wrister, looking for the deflection in front, but instead it was a pad save. A chance for Aaron. She just wraps it around the boards. Johnson, a collision right along the end line, but both players had eyes on the puck, so that could have been somewhat dangerous. Ends up with just one player hitting the ice. Aaron will dump it in and head off on a change. Poisson catches up to it, guides it into the corner, tried to lay one back out in front, but ultimately the Bearcats clear.
Maryville's done a great job coming out of this after getting that one goal. As this one goes down for an icing, they've done a great job, with a little bit of momentum. They see with a little more energy going towards the puck. We saw right off that face-off, everybody on Maryville seemed like eyes on puck and just a lot of momentum going their way right now. A lot of more energy, it seems.
Seemed like they just kind of needed that one good thing to break their way, and now they feel a little bit more comfortable in the game. Bearcats on their heels just a little bit. Poisson will skate up the near wing, takes on the defender. Wrister, she was trying to go up over the glove hand again, but it went a little too high this time. The net is dislodged. Referee finally sees it as that far post is about 3 or 4 inches off the end line.
Almost different time, same story on that one. Skating down, tried to put it same spot, just not quite able to get that one. But this is a different Maryville that we've seen so far at the end of this second period. A little more energy coming out, a little more offensive zone time.
Top line needed a breather, so they're taken off the ice. Bearcats win the faceoff up into the attacking zone. Davis takes a spill, and now we're going to get a penalty. It's going to be a holding call, and I believe it's against the Saints.
And that's not what you need if you're Maryville. They're going in on the break, and sometimes you get a little too handsy when you're trying to, play positioning, and I think that's what happened there.
Well, Maggie Brawley was trying to plead her case to the official, and I can't say that I've ever seen a player talk themselves out of a penalty. Nevertheless, you always got to try. But for the second period in a row, it's going to be shorthanded for Maryville, although this one will not carry into the second period. There's 2:25 to go here in the middle frame. Bearcats with a bad angle chance. Duncan with a blocker save, although it kind of hopped awkwardly off the waffle board. But ultimately the Saints are able to clear.
That one just popped right up, and that's one of those that if it bounces the right way on the edge, it's going into the net.
Johnson steps up from her own blue line, carries in on the attack, a shorthanded break, and then she shoots wide of the goal. Gerwitz pins her body up against, and now it's a chance for Johnson. Skate to stick, and ultimately the whistle goes. What happened?
I did not see.
Referee looked like he was pointing at two things, so I think there's going to be dual penalties handed out.
I don't quite know what happened on that one.
I didn't see a signal by the referee as to what he called. There was a little bit of a scuffle here on the near side, but it was kind of away from the play. It was between Emma Gerwitz and I believe the Bearcat in the box is Elia Burbage.
Could have just been a little too much extracurricular, going into the board, and a little too much John for the referee's liking.
So matching penalties. No manpower changing as it's still a 5-on-4 in favor of McKendree. Now knifing through the defense, Scully still looking for number 4. She's had all the goals thus far for the Bearcats. Ultimately a good stop by Duncan as she was able to seal that 5-hole as her pads were against the ice. Delayed offside. That wasn't the arm in the air that the Maryville fans were hoping for as they had a player down. Thought it might have been a penalty. Now we're going to get it as there's going to be a tripping call coming up. Hitting the ice was Colleen O'Leary, and it looks like Pafalt will go into the box.
I didn't hear the referee blow the whistle for a second when I saw McKendree had the puck, so
it is indeed a tripping call. That'll even things up for 39 seconds. Then we'll have a short-lived Maryville power play before the period comes to an end.
She thought her friend was a little lonely there in the penalty box, thought she wanted to join her.
2 players in the box for both teams. Seems a little more even. Face-off kind of tied up, ultimately knocked down. O'Brien gets a piece of it, plays it towards the side of the goal, and the bouncer was kept away. Loose at the top of the crease, and the Bearcats get it. Smothers will filter one on through. And again, we get a whistle. 49 seconds left. And apparently that was tossed in from the wrong side of the red line, so I guess we have an icing.
And Maryville now just needs to getting one back here with 49 seconds on this 4-on-4 would be great, but now they just need to put a lot of pressure on McKendree.
Bearcats win the draw. Poisson keeps it in the zone, just kind of whacks it up towards goal and then blows a tire on the way through as she was trying to head off to the bench. Now she's got to get back on defense. Now a shot in, blocker save, and a great one off the shot from Leone. As the defender was providing a little bit of a screen, Leone tried to cut it back towards the far side. Power play on now for Maryville as there's 22 seconds left. Skating in comes Johnson. She flings one towards goal and a blocker save. Not sure how much the goaltender knew about it, but it ended up hitting her nevertheless. Backhanded over towards the far wing. Davis steps onto it from the half wall. 6 seconds left. And that will just about do it for the second period. As the horn sounds, 40 minutes are in the books. When we come back for the third period, Maryville is going to have 53 seconds of power play time. We'll see whether or not they can capitalize it and come out with a 1-goal difference instead of the 2-goal separation that we have right now. We'll take a break as the teams head off to the locker room. We'll come back with your second intermission report in just a bit. You're watching the Maryville Saints Hockey Network.
Homes, we understand building a home may seem complicated and stressful. That's why we created a simple 3-step building process, so you don't have to feel confused or overwhelmed. We've been building homes for 50 years, and our customers know at Wassa Homes we build your way with a firm price and on time. 100% panelized construction and 100% custom. Start the process by visiting us online at wassahomes.com to see our floor plans.
Look, sport might not be the answer right now, but it teaches us this, that impossible challenges must be faced and overcome. And the reward is joy. And it will always be that way. And now that sport is back, don't waste these chances. Play with more heart, even more fire, and hope that does not end. Seek out what scares you and let your body do what it loves. Nobody knows what the future holds. Nobody knows what will come our way. So honor every breath and respect every chance. Opportunities will come, and we must be ready.
There's a super fun city, a quick getaway, where there's so much excitement you need more than a day. St. Louis is the stop for non-stop fun, so much fun for your family, infinity plus a ton. It's got works of wonder, things to wow your brains, an amazing tech performance all aboard all the trains. Some museums are historic, some hit the right blue notes, maybe catch a cards game, whatever paddles your boat. Yeah, St. Louis is the stop for non-stop fun.
Visit us at ExploreSt.Louis.com for your chance to win a weekend of non-stop fun.
A lot of the times, students that are thinking about entering our program, they have a lot of questions. They've done their research. A lot of the questions that the students have are based upon outcomes. Where am I going to be 4 years from now if I decide to be in the Rawlings Sport Business Management program? Here, I'll show you. Here's where our alumni work now. We have students working in the athletic department at universities. We have students working for sports teams. We have students working for sports agencies, whether it be an abstract marketing, a Learfield Sports, an IMG. Those are a lot of the organizations that are hiring our students, as we do have a lot of our alumni who do work for sports teams, whether it be the Houston Rockets, the Kansas City Royals, the St. Louis Cardinals, St. Louis Blues. Many of our students have worked for those agencies and continue to work for those types of organizations now.
Powerade. Man, if I had had this kind of power back in my day, my crossover would have been something else. I'd have broke everybody's ankles. The rare peanut vendor. My crossover would have been so crazy. If you recorded it, watched it 2 weeks later, broke ankles. Man, that is some kind of power. Careful now.
By now, you guys probably know there's a lot to see and do in St. Louis. But when it comes to the art scene, there's more here than meets the eye. From Laumeier Sculpture Park and the City Garden to the stunning Cathedral Basilica, one of the largest mosaic collections in the entire world. So if art is your thing, St. Louis is on display all year long. Ooh, now that's an exhibit. St. Lou is always exploring.
And we're back here at the Maryville University Hockey Center. Todd Panula alongside Will Starwalt. Will, it wasn't necessarily the best of starts in that second period, as it's been the Cameron Scully show for the McKendree Bearcats, but at least a late goal there for Maryville to kind of get themselves back into this one.
Yeah, it seemed like they were on their heels again in that second period, couldn't quite get anything going. Same story as the first period, just a lot of chances, not able to execute on those chances, but they got the one goal, and it seemed to light a fire under Maryville. They had a lot of energy going out of that, and they just seemed after they got that goal, it was a lot of offensive zone time for them instead of McKendree, and they might have flipped the switch saying, hey, we can score. You got that 0 off the scoreboard. That's always a good sign, and that's always, momentum builder saying, hey, we didn't get shut out, and now we got to go and we got to score.
So an opportunity perhaps for Maryville, as they still do have about 53 seconds of power play time, as they will start with some fresh ice out in the second period. Maybe be able to build off of what they had there at the late stages in that period.
Yeah, they're going to look off to build off that power play, get the momentum going early. And what Maryville needs to do is break this down into 2 halves. Say, okay, we have 10 minutes. That's one part of the period. And then there's another 10 minutes. And if you can win the first 10 and win the second 10, they should win this game or at least have a chance to go into overtime.
So the score after 40 minutes is 3-1. McKendree is on top. We'll see whether or not Maryville can find themselves an early power play goal and perhaps get back into this one. Don't go too far. We'll take one more break, and when we come back, we'll have the third period of action for you. It's 3-1 in favor of McKendree after 40 minutes. We'll be back with the third period in just a minute. This is the Maryville Saints Hockey Network.
This is a message for those who once tried to get a degree, but didn't, who face their future and their fears. Here at Maryville University, we've been recognizing brave students like you for nearly 150 years. It's for you that we're developing our degree programs in partnership with the businesses that will employ the leaders of tomorrow. And now, we're bringing it online, because it's hard to get a degree. But if you're brave, you can do anything. Let's be brave together. Learn more now at maryville.edu/online.
Welcome back, Flower. We're very excited to show you what we have here. The new access line, more powerful rebounds, lightweight construction, all designed in Canada, of course.
Hi, I'm Ethan Mahalicek, and I'm a game design major from St. Louis, Missouri. I decided on game design because it was something that new that they were offering at Maryville. It was kind of an addition to the interactive design program, and when they offered it, I hopped right on board. I've always loved video games, and so I figured why not try to make them. The professors have helped me build up to where I'm at the moment in a variety of ways, but one of the most important and influential, I think, has been them pushing me to take projects that I've done and push them to their limits. Here at Maryville, it's required as a design student that you do at least one internship. I kind of went a little bit beyond that and have done 3 at this point, or I'm currently in my 3rd. I'd say my favorite part about the program is that it's still kind of small at the moment, and so that allows for a really close connection with the professors and fellow students in the classroom, and a lot of involved work in the classroom. So there's a lot of collaboration that goes on, a lot of helping each other. If you're interested in game design, and even more so interested in Maryville, why not stop by, take a tour, and see what we're all about.
There's 2 types of drivers out there. Drivers who know how to protect their investment, and drivers who don't. Car owners who know how to get more miles per gallon, and owners who don't. We're talking people who know their Schaefer, and people who don't. Which one are you? From cars to trucks to diesel workhorses, whatever you drive, there's a Schaefer synthetic oil for you. Do you know your Schaefer? Ask for it at an automotive retailer near you.
Moneta may be one of the nation's largest independent wealth managers, but what we pride ourselves on most is serving each client like they're part of the family. That's why we go to extraordinary lengths to help our clients reach their unique financial goals. Whether launching a business, providing retirement planning for employees, or building a multi-generational legacy, at Moneta, whatever you cherish, we help protect it today, tomorrow, and into the future.
Welcome back, Flower. We're very excited to show you what we have here. The new Access line, more powerful rebounds, lightweight construction, all designed in Canada, of course.
I'll start with a split squat, and then followed by that will be a series of different kinds of jumps and movements that'll try and get off the ground as quickly as possible.
So before workouts, I roll out for probably 10 minutes max. After I go through my rolling routine, I'll generally go into a dynamic warm-up, and then I'll head to the gym and start my workout.
I pair hurdle hops after a different leg exercise, like a squat or a split squat. So you get the strength part, and then after you do the strength part and you're loaded with weight, you come over here and you're trying to be light on your feet and quick off the ground to, again, increase your explosiveness and speed on the ice.
Just about set to start the third period between the McKendree Bearcats and your Maryville Saints. It's 3-0 for the bad guys thus far through 2 periods of play. Looking back at some of the keys to the game, Maryville has kind of accomplished some of that. They've gotten to the dirty areas of the ice, haven't managed to necessarily score off those, but they did generate some chances, especially on their second power play in the first period. And they've also gotten decent goaltending thus far for Sawyer Duncan, as she's been pretty sharp, turning aside 17 out of 20 shots against her. The only thing that's lacking thus far is to get that secondary scoring going, as the only goal of the game for the Saints has come from Sydney Poissant, and she is their leading goal scorer. We'll see whether or not they can chip in here in the third period, as there's 53 seconds of power play time coming up for Coach Lang's troops.
So Maryville really needs to focus up here, and like I said in the intermission, they need to split this period into 10 minutes. And then win the first 10, get a goal in that first 10, and then get a goal in the second 10, and go from there.
One Maryville player in the sin bin, 2 for McKendree, as we're just about ready to start the third period. Gerwitz is in the box on those matching minors for Maryville. And for McKendree, it is Burbage as well as Pafalt. 5 skaters out on the ice for Maryville, only 4 for McKendree. Referee doesn't like the position of the players, finally drops the puck, and the Saints will pick up the rolling biscuit right along the blue line, carried in by Poissant as she's looking for number 2. Glides all the way over towards the half wall, dished into the corner. Peeling back is O'Brien, looking for a little bit of open space, dishes it off. Stelzer gave it over to Poissant, out in front. O'Brien with a deflection, but it didn't have too much steam on it to begin with, and then the deflection took even more momentum away. but nevertheless a decent chance towards goal.
If she could have gotten just a little power flicking that deflection towards the net, it might have had a chance to sneak through there, because that's some of those deflections those are always hard to stop.
Johnson in on the faceoff. She's able to win it but push it forward. O'Brien's tied up. Spinning her around was Davy. Johnson lays it back for Poissant. Scully lifted her stick and will slide it down the ice. 10 seconds left on the power play, so with the entire rink in front of the Saints, that will pretty much kill this off. They are now 0 for 3. Johnson will come in. Officially 0 for 3 now, as we're back to even strength for both teams. O'Leary left it off. Johnson going to head off on a change after that long shift. No icing here. Gerwitz lifts one up for Poissant, but it kind of bounced past her. Difficult to handle on that high pass. Stelzer in the corner, looking for an open avenue. O'Leary in the far side now. Swept out in front. Backhand chance by Poissant, and again another save made. Rebound was there, but ultimately covered up. And once again, after the whistle, there's a lot of pushing going on.
And that'll happen when you get close to the goalie on something like that, where they don't cover it up. You're allowed to swing at the puck to try and put it in the net. It's just most of the time they have a pad right there, so you're just kind of swinging it into them. Their teammates don't take too kindly to that.
So an offensive zone face-off for Maryville. They sweep it towards goal, turned aside by the stick. Wasserman tried to step up to hold it in from the point, does so initially. Kind of spun around, tried to push it in towards the corner, but there was a McKendree player in the way. Now Leone gets it into the attacking zone. Smothers is on her right, but the puck ends up in behind the net. Oderman sends it up the zone, but not out. Smothers carries into the corner, and out to 2-on-1 out in front. Big save by Duncan, and that one could come up huge if Maryville can manage to come back.
Great save. Nobody covering in the slot. Beautiful chance, but a better save.
Duncan well positioned, saw that pass coming, got her pads down, was able to deny that chance. 1:59 gone here in the third. Maryville trying to power one over here to the near side. A back-checking O'Leary comes back to get it, but again, Maryville cannot clear their own zone. Skates up in the air, a little bit dangerous there from Oderman. Nevertheless, the puck lifted out. McKendree back in possession, but in the neutral zone. Atchison will chop it in. Brawley catches up to it below the end line. O'Leary trying to jab it loose. O'Brien. Ultimately, this one will go the length of the ice, and not an icing call as it's on goal. Past two Maryville players as the Bearcats get it out. Skating in on the near side comes Davis. She blows a tire, but got the puck over to the far wing. Over skating was Brawley. Gerwitz back to pick it up, trying a stretch pass. Poisson was there, so she's going to get there first, and a backhand chance kind of rolled on her, so she didn't get it on target.
Didn't have a lot to shoot at on that one, but good effort trying to put something towards the net.
Best chances of the game have come from Sydney Poisson. 16:45 left to go here in the third. Aaron, stick check thrown by Leone. She's able to jostle that one loose. Flock tried to sweep it up the wall. Unsuccessful the first time. Second time pushed up by Wasserman. Now here comes Johnson from the high slot. Shot! And that's not where you want to put it. Right into the chest of the goaltender.
Would have liked to have a little more room to carry the puck and maybe make a move towards the net, but put something on net. Good save, though, coming out of the crease, just enough. Also, Maryville has been able to tie up the shots here with a 21 apiece.
They forced another offensive zone faceoff. They win it this time. Aaron sweeps it over here towards the near side as it's chopped on around. From the corner, Scully picks it up for the Bearcats, pushed up against the glass. Good forward zone pressure put on by Brawley. She tries to get back on defense. Collision over on the far side, knocks the puck loose. Bearcats have it at their own blue line. Off the near side boards, out of the reach of Davis, so that'll be an icing call.
Maryville's doing a lot better job, it seems, at the beginning of this period than they have in the prior two, of making McKendree clear the puck for a change and getting a lot of tired legs on the ice for them instead of Maryville.
Face-off pushed over towards the far side for some reason. Bearcats come up with the initial possession, but Greenfield is able to chip it away. Now they go to the slot. Shot in, little toe save made. A glorious opportunity from Colleen O'Leary, but a pad save met to match it. Gerwitz tried to shuffle one over towards the near side. It's out of the reach of everybody, so it should be an icing call. Only question was whether or not they would have deemed a Maryville player could have played it. They do not. So it'll be another offensive zone draw as the Saints trying to pick up the pressure here.
Well, with 15-28, they're doing a good job of applying that pressure, getting a lot of good chances, but the story of this game has been they got a lot of the chances, just not able to execute them.
Johnson wins the faceoff, but Poissant took the puck right into the skate of the linesman. Bearcats spring a counterattack as they have numbers pushing forward around the defender, back to the forehand, and Etchison denied. Duncan got a save onto it. Counterattack now for Maryville as Poissant breaks up the ice with Flock. She'll take a wrister and it sails wide. Aaron comes in from the blue line to keep it alive. It's tied up along the boards, and then the puck just slides out of the zone. Wasserman brings it back in, and they're going to deem it offside. It seemed like everybody had tied up, but the linesman disagrees.
That's one of those maybe getting a little too eager, maybe leaving just a tad too soon, going across that line, wanting to get towards the net. But going back to that save, great save to keep the Saints in this game by Duncan.
Couple huge saves in the first 5 minutes by Sawyer Duncan to keep her team alive. They still trail by 2. They don't win the faceoff there, at least not possession. It's back into the McKendree end. Pafalt is on it. On the forecheck is Oderman. Stolen away as Stelzer got in front of the clearing. Played off the goaltender from a bad angle, but it popped back out in front. Gerwitz skating in. She's looking for her 4th goal of the season as she carries it on around. Still stick handling. A strong poke check. Knocks it loose, and now here's a partial break. Smothers is tied up. She's going to get the shot off. The referee not going to allow it, though, as that's going to be a penalty. Probably one you needed to take. But Smothers is shaken up as she was ridden into the net.
Yeah, you saw she was trying to play the puck, but she just ended up wrapping her arms around the player there, and you knew it was going to happen. That's one of those, like you said, that you don't always want to take, but you'd rather have that than an opportunity. Give a penalty kill a chance to get back out there and kill this one off.
So Maggie Brawley into the penalty box on the hold. It was something that, given the fact that the referee was back in the other zone, she could have gotten away with it maybe if she would have just gone with that initial tug. But I think that second chance where she wrapped her arm around, as you said, Will, just forced the referee into a call. Bearcats hold the zone off the faceoff. Pafalt's shot was blocked as Stelzer got in front of it. Oderman wasn't able to clear as the Bearcats have it along the half wall. Davis sweeps it down low. Return pass. Oh, baby, that didn't miss the post by more than a couple inches as Davis got a one-timer towards goal. Back to the point. Pafalt eyes it up. Burbage with a wrister. That went through a couple bodies, but Duncan was able to see it and make the stop.
And we've seen Duncan on those long chances, even if there's a lot of bodies in the way, she usually seems to track it down and at least put a pad on it.
Sawyer Duncan with those old school brown pads has made 21 stops here this evening. Off the high glass and out. A good clearance. Potential shorthanded chance denied by O'Leary. His Pafalt was just a step too quick. Burbage avoids the poke check, blindly tosses it towards the near side. Bearcats get it up towards the center line. Brought in on the far wing by Atchison. She's one of the players that has been denied by Duncan here after she had a good chance in close. 3-player scrum. Bearcats come out with it. Burbage the shot, hit her own player in front as Davis was trying to get out of the way as she set up a screen. Davis in possession from the corner board, skates out towards the hash marks. Rink wide it goes. Burbage's shot was knocked down in front, otherwise Davis would have had it. Now here comes O'Leary. Can she hit the gas pedal? And she ran out of gas a little bit, steals it away as she's shorthanded. And that seemed like an open ice check, but the official not going to call it. 18 seconds left in the McKendree power play. Pafalt pumps the brakes. She's the only player for McKendree in the zone as they were changing their lines. That'll give the Saints some possession, and perhaps they're able to kill this off. A player up, and they didn't see Poissant breaking up the ice. That was actually Oderman. Stelzer makes the steal, and here's Poissant from her backhand. And a good poke check thrown by Davey. Knocked loose as it was banked off the far side boards. A bouncer into the near corner. Davey back to get it for the Bearcats. Just out of the reach of Stelzer. On the back check, it's knocked loose by Aaron. Swept into the zone by Greenfield. She thought about going in on the chase. Peels back as it was apparently a delayed offside as everybody touched up at the blue line. Davis tried to go tape to tape, and it was cut out through the middle. Wasserman had it awkwardly off the toe of her stick. Atchison drives far side. Met by 3 Maryville defenders. Puck ends up back into the McKendree zone, but Bearcats have control. Partial change thrown by the Saints. Burbage up through the neutral zone, hard off the boards. Puck's like a hot potato going back and forth. Flock with Davis coming from behind to make the pilfer. Gerwitz steps up right at the red line to deny a breakout chance. Davis was able to flip one in. Too close for comfort for Duncan, so she will cover up, but that will surrender a defensive zone faceoff.
And with about 10 minutes left here, Maryville needs to find a way to get a goal here in the next couple of minutes to keep themselves, in contention for keeping the game close.
Well, you mentioned it, Will, during the intermission that they needed to win that first 10 minutes. You kind of say they have, but they don't have a goal to show for it. Perhaps something coming here. Poissant gliding onto the puck, drops a pass, but it wasn't quite on target as Johnson was cutting through. Johnson spun around on the far boards, tossed back up towards the corner by a Brawley, ends up down below the end line, and Flock could not get a hold of it. Gerwitz pinches in, second opportunity. It's up against her backside. She was tied up against the glass. So Maryville still in the offensive zone, trying to get possession. Now it just slides away from Brawley. She has no choice but to bang one in towards the corner boards. Now Poissant out in front, but to the wrong side. Otherwise, that would have been a good chance, perhaps, for Stelzer. Brought out by the Bearcats as they exchange places. Leone goes left, Smothers cuts right. Brawley bangs one off the boards, but not hard enough to get out of the zone. Smothers onto the backhand. A good poke check by Gerwitz. Knocks it loose. Poissant tried to skate up the ice. Pafalt was right on her as she's been all game. Pafalt throws a cross check, gets away with it. Referee yells at both of them, but the arm does not go up into the air. Davis drives to the far boards. Poissant just sweeps it out of the ice as she was heading off on a change, a little bit fatigued after that shift. Stelzer on the forecheck, doesn't come up with it. Davis cuts through the middle, onto the far side. Scully who's got 3 goals here tonight, leaves it off. Atchison with the backhand chance. It hits the back of the net, and they're going to say it's going to count. The far post was off its mooring, but the referee is going to say that it crossed the end line beforehand.
I was going to say, I saw the puck in the back of the net, but before that, I noticed, I thought the post came off just as that happened, that contact. Any kind of contact can knock that post loose, and that's the exact opposite of what you want to happen if you're Maryville, putting a lot of pressure on and then you give up a goal like that.
So somewhat against the run of play, the goal comes from Quinn Atchison. It scored at 10:57 of the third period. And we had just gotten done saying that Maryville, despite the fact they hadn't scored a goal, had somewhat won that first 10 minutes. But ultimately, the Bearcats end up regaining their 3-goal lead. So Saints are behind the 8 ball. Do they have an answer? O'Brien is tied up along the far side. Bearcats pick it up. Trying to step up with a little sweep check with the stick was O'Leary. Back checking is O'Leary, but Leone's still on it. Tossed out of the zone as Greenfield just plays it, but on the wrong side of the red line. Maryville was trying to sneak a little bit of a change out there as they got Maggie Brawley out on the ice, and the linesman caught it. So she'll have to return to the bench. 4-1 McKendree, 8:15 left to go here in the third period.
And I know I said you have to split the period with 10 minutes, but now you could just split it within 4, and you got to get 2 goals every 4 minutes. If you're playing you cutting it in half every so often.
Scully was trying to get that pass from Davis, who was tied up in the corner. Johnson cuts up the ice onto the forward side. She got a good shot off, and it just nibbled off that right elbow, and another good save.
The McKendree players on the ice right now going up to the goalie, tapping her on the pad saying, hey, good save, keeping us in this one. Because the shots are almost even now, 25-23 in favor of McKendree.
McKendree's got some good goaltending here tonight. Can't deny that Maryville's had some decent chances. They just haven't been able to sneak one by. They do have that 1 goal, but that's all. Now Flock just kind of eyes up that puck, let Johnson have it. Flung over towards the far side. Poisson skates in on the attack. She's got Flock here on the near wing. Carries it all the way herself. Tries to bang it in from a short angle. And that one denied. Davis picked up the rebound, and Bearcats are out. Brought in by Burbage. And once again, Duncan will slow things up.
We noticed Duncan does not like to play it out. Even if there's 3 Maryville, she won't dump it behind her net. She likes to freeze it and get set back up on the faceoff.
Face-off from the near dot. Smothers carries into the corner, leaves it for Suzuki. Poisson is able to throw a little bit of a hip check there, just kind of bumping the McKendree player off and clearing the puck out towards center. Burbage feathers one in as it ricochets on around. Wasserman from her off wing tried to play it out. That one actually collided with Oderman, and now it's out in front. A chance, and Smothers had it just slip away from her possession. Otherwise, that could have been 5-1. Smothers back in possession as she puts it blindly in towards the corner. Floated in behind the net. Leone takes a spill. Leone was trying to head off on a change, and she will be able to do so now. Koch all the way behind her own goal, turns on the afterburners, but in the defensive zone almost gave it away as Gerwitz was cutting towards the net. And there's a penalty as Greenfield is shaken up. She was obliterated right at the blue line. Didn't see that one coming. And I think it was more a collision than an actual check, but nevertheless, with a little bit of loss of control, McKendree will go into the box.
Yeah, she's going to the bench now. She was skating around a little bit, which is good, but she's definitely shaken up going to the bench.
I think the only thing that saved her was she caught that one pretty much in the midsection, so she was able to kind of absorb most of that hit as opposed to any kind of whiplash you see on those checks that you don't see coming.
Maryville now needs to take advantage of this, as it is a 5-minute penalty. So this is a good way to get one back here with a long power play with 6 minutes left.
I was wondering if they were going to put extra time up on the clock because the referee seemed to be spending a rather long amount of time over at the scorer's table. So 5 minutes of power play time with 6:09 left to go. But losing the faceoff isn't the way to start. Poisson kicks at it along the boards, holds it in off the back of the cage. Johnson to the corner now for O'Leary. Slips away from her. Johnson is spun around, and McKendree was able to poke it loose.
Seemed a little bit more energy with the skating.
Davis makes the steal after there was miscommunication, and then the shot in and met with the waffle board as Duncan has to bail out her defenders.
Caught me mid-sentence with that one, but there's a little more, you see a little more velocity in the way they're skating, going towards the puck, driving hard and trying to make anything happen.
Johnson fires it into the near corner, picked up by O'Brien, but she's tied up. Poisson from the half wall, straightaway point. Gerwitz with a wrister, deflected in front, but over the goal. Good positioning by Johnson, but she just ramped it up a little too high. O'Brien back to Poisson from the top of the circle. Shot was blocked. McKendree doesn't clear it initially, but they will on the second attempt. Under 5 minutes to go here in the period, perhaps the game. It's a 3-goal difference. Still a lot of power play time to be had by Maryville, but they need to get one here early. Flock had the steam taken out of that by a back-checking Leone, who managed to get just enough on that one to disrupt some of the shot. And now they score! A bad angle chance for the Saints, and it's a power play goal as it banks off the side of the goaltender.
Well, yeah, I didn't even see that one go in. I saw everybody standing around, didn't know where it got. Maybe got stuck in the pad or something, but no, they were able to just, some of those pucks bounced the wrong way, and you could see McKendree going up to their goaltender on that one saying, hey, that one's not on you. That's a lucky bounce. But now it's a 4-2 game with 4 minutes left. You score a goal every 2 minutes, and you're in this thing.
So the lead cut in half with a goal from Megan Flock. She just tossed it towards goal, and it hit something. I believe it was the right pad of the goaltender and then in, but hard to tell from our vantage point. Oderman crosses the line on the attack. Still a power play as they will have the full 5 minutes with just 3:05 left to go out of that 5 minutes right now. 4:10 left to go here in the third, but it's a little more manageable now as it's just a 2-goal difference. No icing as that deflected off of a McKendree stick, held in along the near boards by O'Leary, put in towards the circle, but O'Brien was spun around. Poisson from the near side half wall to O'Leary in the corner. And now O'Brien actually on the puck. Tried to play one towards goal, but a defensive stick thwarted that.
So far, this is a different power play than we've seen from Maryville. A lot of driving to the net and just trying to create some chances.
Gerwitz glides around one player, and now a second. Cuts in over the line. She's going to take it all the way herself, and now takes a bad angle chance. And that one scrapes the face of goal. Johnson puts one across the ice, off the corner boards to Poisson. She drops one down low for O'Brien. O'Brien looking to the far side. O'Leary is there. Plays one hard off the dashers for Johnson. She's spun around. Out in front for Gerwitz. The wrister knocked down. O'Brien looking for O'Leary, and they will hold the zone. Gerwitz back at the blue line. Caught up between the skates of O'Leary. O'Brien comes over to help. Scully trying to just knock that one loose, and it's finally kicked out by Leone. 1:39 left to go on the Maryville power play. Stetzler into the slot and then shoots wide as a defensive stick got a little bit on it. Now a wrister towards goal, and Scully blocks that one out of the zone. 2:30 left to go here in the third period. Maryville trying to make it interesting, but once again they need to get one here in the next minute or so. Jabbed around Flock, onto the stick of Aaron, goes rink wide with it, rolls past Oderman, but she's able to chop it in. McKendree content to just kill some time here. Oderman to Flock, down low, they found Stetzler out in front, but she was tied up off the side of the goal. Referee has his whistle up, hasn't blown it yet, finally does as the net was dislodged.
Maryville almost able to get one back here with 49 seconds left in that 5-minute penalty. Doing everything they can to get that puck across the net and not able to do it.
You almost wonder how much the special teams is going to come back to haunt Maryville. They're 1 for 4 as they take a timeout right now. But they need to take advantage of this final 49 seconds of a 5-minute major ladled against Brittany Koch.
Yeah, you got to score here, and this 49 seconds is going to be big, because if you get one in this 49 seconds, that make that last stretch where you pull the goalie and you have a chance there for the extra attacker, makes it a little more manageable. Going, okay, we just got to get one instead of, okay, we got to get 2 in 30 seconds. Makes it a little more manageable when you say, okay, we have a minute to keep possession, get a lot of good shots.
So the question right now, you already have the man advantage. Not too much time left up on the clock. Do you pull Duncan immediately out of the timeout or let the power play elapse?
And that's what they could be talking about right now. They could be saying, hey, if we win this face-off, get possession.
I've always been in favor of, if you already have the manpower advantage, just kind of let it play out. But a lot of teams like to go with that 6th attacker to put it 6-on-4. We'll see what Coach Lang has in mind. Right now, Duncan's still out on the ice, and she will remain. No, check that. She's going to go to the bench.
So they're not even going to wait to see if they win the face-off. They're going right to the 6-on-4, which this would favor the way Maryville's been playing tonight, as they getting a lot of bodies towards the net.
3 players on the left wing, and that's where the face-off went. A quick shot from the far side boards, almost a little bouncer, but ultimately saved by Leask.
So now Maryville, it seems, with this 45 seconds, they're just trying to take shots at the net.
Johnson was tied up off the face-off. She would have had a great opportunity to get a shot off. Linesman's arm was up in the air, but I don't think he realized that there was still power play time, so it ended up being for naught. Wasserman sweeps it into the zone, but again, Maryville not under control, and this puck is rolling towards goal. It was kind of fluttering. Somehow it ended up almost like a curveball going towards net.
I think it was deflected by a Maryville stick.
Johnson from the near circle cuts past the defender. Backhand chance denied. The rebound, jabbing at it, poked loose, and they blow the whistle. 1:16 remaining and still 8 seconds of power play time on the board.
What a save there by McKendree, as the referees are saying no line change, because I believe they blew the whistle because they lost the puck. As those, I think everybody on the ice was right there in front of the net.
It looked like they were resetting the net, so I think that's why they say no line change. But Duncan back out onto the ice.
She is very far out of her crease, so I think they're waiting to see if they win the face-off to pull her.
Still down by 2. Stetzler tried to put one in towards goal. Duncan still out on the ice as it's back to full strength for McKendree. And I think the logic behind that was to not spring any kind of breakaway attempt for Koch with an empty net. Now Duncan will head off. And we get another stoppage. It's going to be a slashing call. And given the fact Maryville had the puck when the whistle went, I think it's going to go against them.
Duncan will head back out there now, as I think that'll do it for this one. And unless you can get 2 shorthanded goals in about 57.7 seconds, which would be impressive, but the way McKendree's goaltending and defensive pressure tonight has been going, I don't think that'll be the case.
So the game not over yet, but it's looking like it's going to be nothing more than a valiant effort by the Saints. McKendree on their 3rd power play of the game. They're 0 for 2 thus far. Straightaway point Pafalt down to the circle, put out. Duncan made the save, denied the rebound, and then it just managed to go wide of that post. Burbage pounds one in behind the net. Cut up to by Suzuki. Burbage just outside the circle. It was deflected in front, but ended up going wide. 22 seconds left. Held in. Burbage skates in towards the circle, almost overskated. Deflected in front by Suzuki. She sweeps one back out. Pafalt steps up, keeps it alive. But there's just not going to be enough time in on this one. Burbage from the blue line, out in front. A save made and denied on the rebound. That would have been enough time for that to go in had Duncan not got in front. But ultimately, it's another win, the 2nd win of the season for the McKendree Bearcats. And both wins, unfortunately for Saints fans, have come against Maryville. Shots are even 29 apiece as we've played all 60 minutes. But McKendree made the most of their scoring chances as they get 4 goals compared to the 2 of Maryville. So the 2 teams gather at the blue lines, kind of salute each other, and those that did manage to get into attendance. Some of the VIPs and family members here. And still not a packed house as COVID restrictions have forced everybody to keep out of the stands. And that's denied some Maryville fans some opportunities to see some very entertaining games such as this one. But unfortunately, Will, they're going to go to the locker room disappointed for the 8th game in a row. So we'll take our final goodbyes here. Don't go too far, though. We will start a new stream here in just a little while as we'll have post-game comments from Coach Tommy Lang as his team suffers another defeat. A little more bitter this time around as they drop another one to their rival from across the border in the McKendree Bearcats. But for those of you who say goodnight, for Will Starwalt, I'm Todd Panula. We hope you enjoyed tonight's contest. Once again, it's a 4-2 win by the McKendree Bearcats. Saints will try once again come Friday afternoon. Until the next time, this has been the Maryville Saints Hockey Network.